Hey, what's up? It's GhostShadow4 here. Today I'm going to be talking about the various problems that plague the ranked game mode in Rainbow Six Siege. I think this is an important video because ranked has been in the game for quite a while now, and I think there's a lot of issues that need to be addressed and they aren't being addressed. The first problem that needs to be addressed is the penalty for abandoning a match. So currently, if you abandon a ranked match, you will receive a 30-minute ban and can no longer play any other multiplayer game mode. I personally do not believe this ban is long enough because you can rage quit a game, wait 30 minutes, and then immediately start playing another game. Rage quit from that, leave for 30 minutes, and play again. You can do this continually over and over with no other penalty. A system that bans you longer and longer if you leave a match too soon to another match would be a great addition to the game because it will help incentivize people to stay with the game instead of just leaving, because the more they leave, the longer they're going to be banned for. I really think this will decrease the number of people that will abandon a match, and I don't really see a good reason for it to not be implemented. Even if you use the excuse that, your computer crashes a lot, it's really not fair for the rest of your team to be constantly down a person. So I think this is a very good change that should be implemented into the game. I think another aspect of the system that should be utilized is to have the abandon timer run down only while you're in game, because it's really easy to go play another game and just wait for the timer to run down. However, if you make it an in-game timer, you have to be forced to play Rainbow Six Siege in casual or T-Hunt before you can actually play in ranked. So I think the timer should only be running down while you're in the game. Something else that I think should be addressed is actually something that has been talked and discussed about a lot, and that is the option for a solo queue mode in ranked. I think Rainbow Six Siege is popular enough now that they should add a solo queue option for ranked, because it's really hard to do well in a ranked match when you're playing against 4 and 5 stacks. It may be better to make this mode a duo queue and a solo queue, or even go up to 3 people queued, but I think there should be something for those that aren't queued up with a full team. Now, I understand that this would make ranked queue times longer, especially near the higher ranks, but I think most people in the higher ranks are already queued up in 4 or 5 stacks. This would greatly benefit the large majority of the player base who do not have a team to play with and are seeking for a more level playing field. I don't have all the data in front of me, so I don't know if this is something that's feasible or efficient, but I do think it's something that Ubisoft should definitely look into because it would really benefit the player base. Now, I think the third thing that needs to be added is some sort of map ban system. We already have a ban system for the operators, and I think it's time that we have a ban system for the maps as well. This is something that I believe has been leaked and is going to come at some point, but it can't get here fast enough. There are certain maps that are just not good and should not be played in ranked, and allowing the players to choose between a couple of different maps would really help. However, I think this should be done very carefully because if you look at games like Counter-Strike, people only play 1 or 2 maps. They get really good at those maps and they don't play anything else. So maybe for the map ban system, it's not available from all maps, but it picks from a couple of maps and you choose one of those. This system has already kind of been leaked, but I'm reinforcing that I think it's a good idea and it really should be added in the game as soon as possible. Now, there are a couple other things that I think should be addressed, but I don't know how you would go about fixing them. One of them is the lack of communication. Perhaps you could come up with a method of seeing how often a player uses their mic in game, and then using that information, you can decide how they queue up with other people. So if you use your mic a lot in game, you're going to be queued up with people that also use their mic a lot. However, if you rarely use your mic, you're going to be paired up with people that also rarely use their mics. This sort of system definitely requires a lot of thought before it gets implemented, and I'm not really sure if this is exactly how it should be done, but I think something like this should be put in place because lack of communication is one of the largest problems plaguing the Rainbow Six ranked community. You can have a team that altogether has worse individual skill, but if they are much better at communicating, they're going to normally be a team with better individual skill. So I think there really should be something out there that assesses how often players use their mics and how much they communicate in game. Another thing that I think should be addressed at some point is the number of operators you can ban. I believe we now have around 50 operators in the game, which is quite a bit, and yet we still only ban 2 attacking operators and 2 defending operators. I understand how increasing the number of operators that are banned could negatively affect the game, because you could ban almost all operators of a certain playstyle, such as hard breachers or Thatcher-like operators. However, if you do that, you're also leaving a lot of other operators on the board available to be played. Alternatively, you could have a ban system that's similar to the map ban system that I mentioned. What I mean by this is that you could split the attacking operators into 2 groups and the defending operators into 2 groups. Then you could have the option to ban some operators from one group and some operators from the other groups. This would help to eliminate the risk of banning all of one type of operator, such as hard breachers. This would be a really interesting system to implement, and I'm curious what you guys think of it. Do you think this is a good idea, or do you think this is a bad idea that wouldn't work out very well? Let me know in the comments down below. One thing that has a big impact and that should really be worked on is the amount of bugs in the game. Now, I know this doesn't specifically apply to the ranked mode, but when you're playing ranked and these bugs pop up, it can make you lose a lot of rounds and even a lot of games. For an example, one of the bugs that was recently found out in the new Operation Void Edge is that sometimes your voice chat button does not work in the ranked mode. This can be devastating if your team relies on good communication, and it's a very major bug that should be addressed. So I think Ubisoft needs to do a better job of bug fixing their patches and their updates and just the game as a whole in order to make the ranked experience that much better. Another thing that I was thinking about that may be a good idea is the addition of an Overwatch type system such as the one in Counter-Strike. If you are unfamiliar with how the system works, basically if someone gets enough reports for cheating or being toxic or whatever, then various portions of the gameplay will be submitted for review by players. The players will watch the gameplay and they will leave a review saying whether or not they think the person was cheating or not. This could really help with some more obvious blatant cheaters, and it could also help with the toxicity problem, which I know that Ubisoft is trying to rectify. This would be an interesting system to introduce into the game, and I think it would be effective in minimizing the number of cheaters in the game. Now, I spent the entire video talking about all the things I don't like about the ranked mode in Siege, but now I kind of want to focus on some of the good things that I think have been added. So the first thing I want to highlight is the uncertainty factor. I think the uncertainty factor is a good system to have in the game, and I think it helps give a better, more accurate representation of one's rank. If you have a couple of bad placement matches, you're not immediately screwed for the entire season. If you perform well, you can easily achieve a higher rank and rank up very, very quickly. In other competitive games, this is not possible. If you do bad in placement matches, you're basically going to be stuck in that rank for the entire rest of the season. So I think this is something good that Siege has going for them, and I really like what they did there. The second thing I think is a good addition is the pick and ban for the operators. This definitely needed to happen, and I think it adds another layer of complexity to the game and makes it far more interesting. You're not going to be running the same strats that you're always going to run, because you can ban some operators, which will shut down some of those ideas. This also helps to bring to light new ideas and new strats, because you're going to have to come up with new ways of doing things. So I think the pick and ban for operators is a very good addition, and I like what they did. So those are the things I like and appreciate about the ranked game mode. I didn't want all of this video to be completely negative, but I did want to address all the problems that ranked has, because I do think it has a lot of problems and I think they need to be fixed. Now, I want to hear from you guys and I want to know what you think. So comment down below and let me know what you think could be fixed in ranked and what Ubisoft should do to fix it. Feedback is a very integral part of improving games like Rainbow Six Siege, so I hope that Ubisoft looks at videos like mine and looks at what the community is saying so that they can improve the ranked game mode and make it a much better experience for players. So that's pretty much it for my video today. I really hoped all of you guys liked it, and if you did, please leave a like, comment down below, and consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it, and it means a lot. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.